Hey, how y'all doing? You know what? The fact of the matter is, we live in a generation of selfie takers. A lot of people take a lot of selfies. I take some from time to time. I'm sure you do take some from time to time. But basically, you take a picture of yourself, post it on social media, whatever it is you do with it. But basically, when you take a picture of yourself, there's an image left in your phone of you. Now, that picture that's in your phone or your device, now that is not you physically. That's your image. So a person should be able to look at your image and then get a perfect picture of what you look like if they met you in person. Isn't this what God said? He said that I created you in my image. So in other words, you and I as believers, we are God's selfie. So in other words, people should be able to look at us and get a perfect picture of what God looks like. Isn't this what Jesus said? Jesus said, look, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So Jesus is saying, look, God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. God is invisible. So the only way you're really going to get a perfect picture of him is by looking at my life. This is the way God set it up. We are his image. And so he wants people to look at us, look at our character, look at how we talk, look at how we handle things, look at how we treat people, look at our temperament. And by looking at us demonstrate the image of God, which is love, grace, peace, mercy, and kindness, and long suffering. He wants people to look at us demonstrate his character, his image in the earth. They say, man, that's what God looks like. I want more of him. Why? Because as people look at us demonstrate his image in the earth, God knows that people will get attracted to his image. And as they get attracted to his image, then they'll want to seek his person because his image is attractive. It's going to stir people up to want to seek his person. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of people who do a lot of dating websites and whatnot. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's what people do, from time to time. If that's what you do, more power to you. But there's a lot of people who do the dating websites and they scroll through different profiles and they're looking for somebody that they're attracted to. And let's say they come across somebody's picture, their image that they're attracted to. And they're so attracted to that image that they want to then seek out the person and meet the person because the image attracted them. This is why God tells us we have to make sure that we are conducting ourselves in the world properly, because if we're not demonstrating the right image to the world, then people are not going to be attracted to him because they're seeing the wrong image through us. Is this why there's a lot of people that want nothing to do with church? They don't want nothing to do with Jesus. They don't want nothing to do with God because they're looking at a lot of Christians and they're saying, wait a minute, is that what God looks like? I'm cool. I don't want, if that's what God looks like, I don't want nothing to do with him. Is that why there's a lot of children who live in homes with parents who profess to be Christians at church all the time, but the image and the character, oh God, do I have to go there? The image and the character that they demonstrate in the home. The kids are like, is that what God look like? I'm cool. I don't want I don't want to go to church. No, because if that's what God look like, I don't want nothing to do with God. Parents, please hear me. This is why you have to be careful of how you conduct yourself in the home. You can't be on the phone gossiping and talking about people on the phone, and you and your spouse, and fussing and cussing and talking loud and fighting and getting drunk and just acting crazy because your children are looking at you and they're not going to be attracted to God if they're seeing that image. That's why even on your job, people of God, you can't be stirring up strife on your job. You can't be gossiping about the boss to other people behind their back. You can't be on there, walking in unforgiveness and just full of strife. And no, you need to make sure that you're demonstrating the image of God and loving even the co-workers that can't stand you, and loving the boss that gets on your nerve, and showing the grace and compassion and buying lunch for that co-worker that you don't like them and they don't like you, but you're showing the love of Christ even at home, parents. You need to make sure that you're not short-tempered and rude with your children and rude with your spouse, because we need to make sure that we're demonstrating the image of Christ to be attractive for our children to want to follow God. Even when you're out in the world at restaurants, don't be going off on the waitress and going off on them and talking crazy to them. This food ain't no good. No, you can't be doing all that, because we're supposed to be demonstrating the image of Christ. And even when you're driving in your car, I'm being very practical right now, but please hear me. Driving in your car and somebody cut you off and you speed up to them with your I love Jesus bumper sticker and blowing at them and rolling down the window and yelling, get out of my, you can't be doing all that, because that image you're demonstrating is not the image of Christ. And it turns people off. So we must understand that we have a responsibility to demonstrate the image of God in the earth, because how we treat people and how we live our life will determine if somebody is turned off to God or turned on to God. So people of God, please hear me. We are God's selfie. Let's make sure we're demonstrating that to the earth so we can turn people on to him and stop turning people off. Peace.